Hey there, this is Mr. Dunaway for part 2 of the Patrick Mahomes stat spreadsheet. And if you did everything in the first video, you should have something like this on your screen. So what we're going to do now is we are going to look at how to input the formulas to calculate his completion percentage and his average yards per completion is what we will be doing there. So you'll notice that week 5 or row 7 has no data in it yet, but you're probably watching the video and they probably just played their 5th game. So we will actually input that information later after we have the whole spreadsheet set up. That'll be pretty cool when you see how it works. So what we're going to do is we're going to start here in cell J3. Completion percentage, we want to know what is the percent that he completed, the ratio of completions to the number of passes he attempted. And that's pretty simple to do mathematically. You just, first of all, type in the equal sign like that. And all you have to do is click on cell G3. Because what we want to do is we want to take his completions divided by his number of attempts. So notice up here, you should see equals G3 divided by H3, as well as in the cell itself, J3, hit enter, and you have 75.8%. But I bet yours doesn't look like that, so I'm going to change mine. And just like that, I imagine that is what your computer looks like at the moment. I forgot I had done a formatting thing that you haven't done yet. So the next thing I want to make sure you understand, that you should have seen this in the previous video, what I want to do is I want to take this formula where I'm dividing completions divided by attempts, but I want to do it for each row. Like in row 4 for week number 2, I want to divide 30 divided by 44, and I want that to go here. And then I want to do the same thing for those two numbers to go here. But I do not want to go and type in equals click, click, enter, equals, click, click, enter, when I can use the fill feature, which I love. It's one of my favorite things. You see where the mouse is circling. You see the dot in the bottom right-hand corner. You click, drag, and you want to drag that only down to row 18, which is week 16, which is their last regular season game. And you'll see this weird command or this weird thing that says hashtag divide by 0. That's an error because basically it's looking for a number to divide in this cell here that is 0. It can't divide by 0. It's impossible to divide something by 0. But what you should notice, if you would look right here, as I click down the screen, whoops, don't do that. If you look right here, I keep making a mistake. Don't do that. Hit enter to get out of that. Okay, like I was saying, look right here. That's G7 divided by H7. As I move down with my arrows, the numbers in those cells are changing relative to the row that I'm in over here. So that's the beautiful thing about Excel, is you just copied that formula relative to each row. So the nice thing is, let's say that next week Patrick Mahomes completes 25 passes out of, let's say, 40. I hit enter. It will figure out the completion percentage for that week or whatever happened. I guess for you guys that would be yesterday, probably. So what we're going to do is move on over to average yards. So now what I would like to do is I want to know, okay, if he passed for 378 yards, what is his average number of yards per number of completions? All right, he completes a pass, so what is the average number of yards? Like, he might throw one pass for, say, 40 yards, and then one pass for, say, 5 yards. So the average would be the sum of the two divided by 2. So we're going to take the sum of the yards divided by the number of completions. So we want average yards per completion here. So that's pretty simple. Again, in cell K3, we're going to type equals, and then we're going to click on I3. So we're putting this value, and we're going to do division sign. Again, you can see it right here on your screen. And we're going to click on completions, which is G3, hit enter, and you have 15.1. That means in his first game with Jacksonville, it was probably 15.1. And again, yours might be different, so I'm going to do a quick fix on my computer. and it should look something like that. So now I am going to take that. I'm going to take that formula. I'm going to put the select that cell. You have the box around. You have the bottom right-hand corner. You're going to click and you're going to drag from the right-hand corner down, and again, your values should match. There's that 14.7 weird number, and that is what we have. And then we have the divide by zero errors because we don't have the values to divide by zero. Okay, so let's continue with the formulas in our spreadsheet. Over here, we need to look at our totals now. And one thing with the totals that we're going to do is we're going to add up how many total completions that he has for the season. We want to go in this row. So we'll do all the formatting and things for it later. Let's just get the information in here. So again, a couple ways to do this. One way is to just type in the formula equals sum parenthesis and just select the entire row. Make sure you do not select the row with the total. Hit enter and you should get 106. That's one easy way to do it, but there's actually an easier way. This up here, you can just set select the cell and click auto sum, and it will fill that in there for you. And then if that's the right area that you want to be added, you're kind of looking at the marching ants around the boxes. Hit enter, and that will add it for you as 156. And then if you want to use the fill trick, you can just click and drag that from there, and it'll do the same thing. It'll fill that sum formula right there for that column as well. So any of those methods work for it. And then over here, we want to do the same thing for the number of touchdowns. So I may just click the auto sum. Does the column, I look at it, yes, that's the column I want. I hit enter, and he's got 10 touchdowns up to this point for him, and that is pretty cool. So make sure you get all those formulas in there for that. And again, with the time here, I think I'm going to pause at this point before I start the next video. Make sure you have all those calculations. I will show you one thing on my computer that I can actually click and I just shifted all of the things into formulas. If you want to see what's going on behind the scenes, I'll make it go back to the way it was. Let's say I just want to look at these and see, did I put a formula in here or not? If you, I won't tell you the trick, but there's a command that you can press and you see in here all of the formulas that you have in there as they are written right there. So if you're not sure if you had a formula in there, that's an easy way to check it, and then that makes it go back. Okay, I'm going to stop this video here at this point, and don't go away because we got part 3 coming up.